Hey internet people, my name is Tyler Lloyd and I typically make videos about living a happier, healthier, more sustainable life. But in this video, I'm going to talk about scammers online, particular on Facebook Marketplace, because today that's what I've spent feels like the majority of my day doing, responding to all of these scammers as I'm trying to sell something on Facebook Marketplace. So if you found this video because you're wondering if you're being scammed, I've been reading articles, digging into it, so I'm going to share some of the things that I've read, but also the things that I have experienced, and I'm going to show you some of these conversations. So before I talk about these scammers, I am trying to sell this laptop here. This laptop is somewhat of a higher price item. It's a brand new laptop that was sent to me by Acer to film a commercial for them. I thought I was going to keep it, but I really don't need a laptop, so I am minimizing it and letting it go. And I set it for a local pickup only. I wasn't going to be shipping this. Usually when I sell stuff, I like to sell it locally because I feel that also reduces a little bit of the scamminess of it. I get to meet the person in person. Now, I am a male, 6'3", so there are some concerns that you need to have if you're meeting up with someone. So make sure that you're in a public space. In front of grocery stores, great place. In front of police departments are good, or fire stations. They're okay with you being out there and just making a quick transaction. So meet in a public place if you're selling to somebody. And the reason I also like selling to someone in person is to avoid some of the scammy things that I have been seeing. So I posted this laptop this morning, and within less than a minute, I had 4 people sending me messages. Is it still available? Is it still available? Is it still available? I was like, wow, like people really have interest in this laptop. Nope, I have not received any legitimate inquiries on this laptop, and I'm up to 10 so far of people that I'm certain are scammers. So let me pull up some of the messages that I've been receiving and walk you through some of the things that they have done and how I have realized that they are actually scammers. So one of the first things that I saw were people that were reaching out to me, and I typically look at their profile if they're on something like Facebook Marketplace, just to see does this look like a real person? And it can be very hard to tell because people will go, scammers who do this as kind of their job, unfortunately, will go to a lot of links to set up profiles that look pretty decent. So this first person that reached out to me, his name was Raf. He's got a lot of followers and posts, and maybe this isn't a scammer. Raf, if you're watching this, let me know down below if you're not a scammer. But asked if it was still available for sale. I said yep. He asked the condition, told him it's brand new. He asked where I was located, told him Southwest DC. And he said, my wife will be coming to pick it up tomorrow evening because I'm out of state at the moment, but I'll be making payment now. I was like, okay, well, sort of weird for you to trust me that you're going to give me payment for, $550 and that I will just meet up with your wife tomorrow. But okay, some people are trustworthy, so that's nice. And then he said, do you have Zelle? I was like, well, I have Venmo. And asked him if he had Venmo, and he told me the story that he had Venmo, but he disabled it and he couldn't restart it, and he wanted me to use Zelle. I looked into it, and actually I have Zelle linked to one of my bank accounts, and I quickly set it up. And I sent him my phone number, because that's what I had linked to it, and then he asked me what my email address was that was linked to that Zelle account. Well, I thought this was a little curious, that he needed also my email address, because when I set it up, it said that it was sufficient to just give the phone number. That's the thing that was linked to it. Well, I told him that I, didn't have that linked to the account, and he said I need it for confirmation. And I said, well, how about you give me yours, and then I will send the request. He said, well, I'm already in the app. Can you please send me your email? So he's trying to set up this sort of thing that we've had this conversation back and forth. It's, sunk interest. I've got someone who I've communicated with who's given me some personal details, that he's out of state, his wife will come pick it up. So he's starting to weave this story, and then he's, setting up this idea that that he's ready to pay me. I just have to send him my email. But I looked into Zelle's website, and they only require you to have just that one thing linked. It can be your email, it can be your phone number, but you don't have to give both of them. And a lot of times you can run into these scenarios where it's a phishing scheme, where they are trying to prompt you and bait you and do a little bit of social engineering to get you to give them additional information. Because maybe if he had my email address, he could try to maybe figure a way to get access to that and brute force his way into having access to my Zelle account. And I said, can I have your number? And if I have your number, I will send a request. And then after that, silence. So this guy was a scammer. This other one was really interesting when he reached out to me. So he reached out and said, hey, I'll pay you $650 plus shipping. So he was offering me $100 more for the laptop than I had listed it for. If it sounds like it's too good to be true, it probably is. But my interest was piqued after dealing with the one person that I thought was a scammer. And I said, yeah, it is still available. He said, okay, good. Do you have Zelle or Cash App to receive payment? And I said, I have Venmo. Do you have Venmo? And he said, okay, get back to me with your Venmo username and email address so I can pay you now. I'm like, well, you don't need those things. So I just sent him the link that would automatically open up on his app with my profile, and all he had to do was click pay. So I sent him that link, and he said, what's your email address so I can proceed with the payment online now? Well, again, you don't need to give your email address. And Venmo is a little bit more protected. I believe they have some purchase protections built into them, whereas Zelle is almost like a bank transfer, and there are less protections in there. So that's why everybody, I think, was leading off asking if I had Zelle or Cash App, because there are fewer protections on them versus Venmo. So this other person that reached out to me, same deal, asking, hello, still available? Yes. What's the condition? Brand new. Sold her price. She said negotiable. I went ahead and I dropped $50 off of it. She, asked for some pictures. So I sent some pictures. And it says, wow, looks really nice. It'd be a perfect gift for my husband. So again, sharing some personal information there. If you went and looked on her profile, she's got an Instagram profile, 58 followers and 2 posts on there. And she's engaged, it says. But again, she's in Portland, Ohio. Only 2 photos. One from November, another one also November, like 2 days after each other, and no activity since then. So given that I posted it that it was only supposed to be for local pickup, and I've got these other people reaching out to me, a little fishy there. So yes, her husband is interested in it, and I said, yeah, it's a good laptop. If I didn't already have one, I'd keep it. He said, I'm willing to pay the agreed amount as well as shipping. Again, people wanting for me to ship it, even though I was going to do local pickup. He said, okay. I said, would you like to Venmo me the $550? And she said, you ain't got PayPal, Cash App, or Zelle. Again, fewer purchase protections on those versus Venmo from what I was reading. And I said, I have Zelle. What is your Zelle account? I'll send the request. And then she sent back, send me your phone number and email address for payment. Again, same thing. So in short, when you are doing these transactions, if something feels fishy and off, just trust your gut. You can wait, find someone else where things just feel right. Don't get scammed. If they're asking for additional login credentials, they don't need them. Just provide them what they need to be able to pay you, and ideally in person, where you're meeting up in person. they're pulling out their phone, they're transferring the money, or they're giving you cash, ideally cash, not a check. That's the way that I think that you should be doing it. If you have any other recommendations for spotting scammers or any personal experiences, let me know in a comment down below. Again, I typically make videos about living a happier, healthier, more sustainable life, but also anything else that interests me. And since this was an experience that I went through today and thought that others might find value in it, I quickly put together a video. So hopefully you enjoyed it. My name is Tyler Lloyd, and I wish you the best. And until next time, have a good one. See ya.